You've probably never heard of Australian auteur Clive Turner, so let me introduce you to him. Clive Turner is the co-writer of Howling 4 and Howling 5, two films in which he also had minor roles. He was not involved in Howling 6, but the howling fever never left his blood, and so in 1995 he returned to write, produce, direct, star in, supervise post-production of, and do the accounting work for Howling: New Moon Rising, the 7th installment of the franchise that has the look and feel of one of those cheaper witchcraft sequels. And you know how I feel about that. But Turner had a vision, you see. His vision was to find a way to tie Howling 4, 5, and 6 together and make them all a part of the same universe Part 7 takes place in. And he managed to do this in ways that make absolutely no sense. Turner plays Ted Smith, an Australian drifter who wanders into a small American town looking for work, although he seems to possibly have ulterior motives, maybe. As the story unfolds, we are led to believe that he was a tow truck driver killed in Howling 4, and also one of the victims from the werewolf whodunit Howling 5, even though his character in that film had a completely different name. So, 3 totally different characters, 2 of whom died. These details don't seem to be important. Characters from other Howling movies also return, including the writer from Howling 4, and the ditzy actress Mary Lou, who I guess was revealed to be the actual werewolf at the end of Part 5, and supposedly shows up in Part 6 as well, even though when it's pointed out to us via flashback, I still don't see her. These characters' roles in Howling 7 don't make much sense either. But furthering this man's genius was his decision not to cast actual actors in the supporting roles, but to instead use the actual townspeople from the location where shooting was taking place. As you might expect, non-actors give terrible performances.
It's a country jukebox.
Not without George Jones.
Huh?
So it's not a country jukebox without George Jones.
Hey, it's got everyone else. What's such a big deal about George Jones?
From the Beatles to the Rolling Stones.
They could all sing like they wanted to.
They'd all sing like George Jones.
Jim, do you know who wrote that song?
George Jones?
Actually, Waylon Jennings.
Know that.
Jim, the only thing you know about country music is the first 4 letters.
Brock.
Sorry, Cheryl, I didn't know you could spell.
Yeah, and I can also count up to 86.
Hi, Bob Mall. Nice to meet you.
G'day, I'm Ted. Ted Smith.
This is Jim.
Huh?
I said this is Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Oh, I'm actually Ted.
Long ride from Australia?
Yeah, but I flew most of the way.
Your arms tired?
I only want to flap them.
Hey, that could give you armoritis.
It's all right. I just had a bout of hepatitis.
Yeah, a little bit further down your leg and probably get pneumonia.
Hell, I'd be more worried about smallcocks.
Well, I'm pretty lucky there. I've already had diphtheria.
You might be wondering why I keep showing clips of random zombie-like line dancing. Well, it's because the bulk of the movie consists of zombie-like line dancing. Apparently the thing to do in this dusty old town is to go to the tavern every night, get liquored up, and move into a darkened room, where you slowly yet methodically dance with others who have about the same amount of enthusiasm for line dancing, which is to say, not very much. I suppose I should talk about the werewolf aspects of the film, although there's really not much to say. Most of the werewolf action takes place in flashbacks to the other films. There are some point-of-view shots of some people maybe getting killed by a werewolf. And then, after an absurd Columbo-like resolution where, after learning werewolves can now possess people and have the power of mind control, the werewolf culprit is tricked into getting caught.
We set you up. Just like he did to us. We knew Ted had to die before the full moon. The real werewolf couldn't take a chance.
I thought it was you, but I couldn't be sure until you rescued Ted.
Anyone else would have yelled for help or shot him.
Well, aren't we smart? But do you think you can really kill me with that little gun, Inspector?
The actress then cheaply morphs into a Halloween mask of a werewolf, sort of explodes through a door, and is shot. All of the film's inconsistencies and other nonsense might have been explained during the finale, but at that point I could no longer muster any interest. A note I made during the third hour of line dancing reads, "God damn it, I hate this movie and I hate you, Clive Turner." I still feel this way now, and I will never, ever let it go. While I commend you for attempting to make sense of a collection of sequels that made none to begin with, your film, Mr. Turner, is so nonsensical, random, cheap, lousy, and just fucking head-smashingly awful that I award it no stars, and may God have mercy on your soul.
God, this urinal's small.
I wrote this from the bottom of my heart.
You reckon it's small, Ted?
What?
It's small, isn't it?
Cocktail weenie, bro.